bro is doing anything to keep his 15 minutes of fame. I get the hate, but calling that man the Antichrist is crazy. So if Mr. Beast is the Antichrist and he worked for Mr. Beast, wouldn't that make him a servant to the Antichrist? So basically we shouldn't trust anything he's telling us. The dude's just out here trying to build wells and sell chocolate. Next thing you know, people are calling him the Antichrist. Former Mr. Beast employee drops evidence alleging that Mr. Beast is the Antichrist.
I'm just gonna present the evidence that Mr. Beast is the Antichrist as I see it, and it's quite baffling to be honest.
Now, when the backlash hit hard, Dogpack responded. This was one of the deleted segments from part 1. None of this is evidence, and I do not allege that Mr. Beast is the Antichrist. I think it's a funny meme though, and I respect other people's religious beliefs. Okay, dude, I get that you were trying to go for the it was a meme thing, but the way you said it in this video was so dead-ass serious.
Legitimately believe there is a chance that Mr. Beast is the Antichrist.
Like, dude, if you meant it as a meme, can you at least make it sound like a meme? Like, if you said Mr. Beast is the Antichrist, thank Doji, awfully odd coffee pop, my name is Pack backwards, you would have been persuasive throughout this entire video. You keep a dead-ass serious face and a dead-ass serious tone, presenting one evidence after another.
It describes two beasts. First, the beast from the sea, who is the Antichrist, and the second beast from the earth, which is the false prophet.
Yeah, Dogpack, I got two beasts with me that's the Antichrist. It's called my girlfriend's boobies.
And Mr. Beast teaches children to worship money, which the Bible clearly describes as the root of all evil. Obviously, this is all up to your interpretation. Personally, what makes the most sense to me is that the Antichrist would not be a person, but a company. The company of YouTube. Or Google.
Dude, I freaking lost it at the company of YouTube. Like, I get that you're saying it was a joke or it was a meme, but before you swore, some people didn't get that you were joking about doing shrooms, which turned out to be a flat-out lie. And because you're always serious until you're wrong about something, and then you say it was a joke, even Ludwig was like calling you out on it.
So you should be able to tell when I'm joking and when I'm acting and when I'm being serious.
I literally, and I mean this so genuinely, have zero idea. I feel like at all times, there's like an air of troll, but I can never tell when you're serious.
Huh. Have you like been diagnosed with anything?
Are you calling me autistic? No.
Like, I get that it's a joke and it's a meme, it's a tactic you use, but you can't say I'm going to present evidence and none of this is evidence at the same time.
Present the evidence that Mr. Beast is the Antichrist. Present the evidence, present the evidence, present the evidence, present the evidence, present the evidence that Mr. Beast is the Antichrist.
The same way you can't say I didn't do drugs and I did drugs for a week at the same time. Like, I don't even have to say anything. I can take his words to argue against his words that go back and forth, and it's like the never-ending stairs to infinity. And the best part is, he admits he just watched like one video and a Wikipedia article.
I just watched like one video and read the Wikipedia article.
And this whole "it's a funny meme" thing is actually contradicted by his own Reddit posts from the past, in which he seriously argued Mr. Beast is the Antichrist in a literal conspiracy subreddit. He even made Google Docs detailing everything about this. Like, you hear conspiracies like government is hiding the aliens, or Neil Armstrong never landed on the moon, or that Tupac is alive, but none of us actually stand in front of a camera with a police uniform seriously preaching that someone might be the Antichrist. By the way, this guy also pulled the same tactic about orangutans. Yes, I'm being serious, I said orangutans. So basically, if you look at his alternate account on Reddit, that 5ed guy, if you look at his past comments and scroll past all the removed content, you can see that before he got a job with Mr. Beast and he was pitching ideas, he proposed to have him live with wild orangutans. Of course, people called him out on it. One person said, LMAO, half of these are silly and actually dangerous. And he goes, there's always a safe way to do it. And then he got like -36 downvotes. But your post didn't say trained orangutans, it said wild orangutans. Notice how he says one thing, then says another when somebody calls him out on it? Like, the moment something hits the fan, this guy immediately switches up the wordings. He says he was doing shrooms, and when things get bad, he says that he was obviously joking, and someone finds out later that he was doing shrooms. He mentions a case where he accuses Mr. Beast's cousin for domestic violence, and when it turns out he got the wrong guy, he says he never mentioned the case in his video. He says that he's having people look into this case, specifically that surprise witness, and when that surprise witness tells the world he got the wrong guy, he says that she was never his source. He says that Mr. Beast is the Antichrist in a subreddit and in a video with deadass serious tone, and when people don't buy into the shtick, he says that it was just a funny meme. Like, this guy lies so much his karma's starting to catch up with him. Most people would be like, oh, if I say this, there's the previous stuff that I said, so it might be contradictory and get people to discredit me, but it doesn't even seem like that thought process even crosses this guy's mind. I think his mind just goes, just make up more lies to cover those lies. The lie passes through his brain and comes out his mouth faster than your bowels the morning after a heavy night out drinking, and it doesn't stop. There are so many nonsensical stuff that he spilled out to the world already that he doesn't even remember the stuff that he said at this point. He just spouts whatever words that come at the moment, no matter how contradictory it is to his previous claims. Like, I'm seriously starting to question this guy's sanity here. To get super petty, this guy called out the raccoon for being a paid actor when he proposed to train orangutans for a video. I feel like all Mr. Beast has to do is keep quiet and this guy will talk himself out into being cancelled. Like, I just checked Twitter to find this guy getting slapped around harder than the pizza dough at Papa John's. This guy, after getting the wrong guy for the domestic violence allegations, literally says, well, it must have been somebody else then, in my opinion. And he's getting beat up all over the place. In my opinion, you 5 children in a head-on collision. Just my opinion, though. In my opinion, you allegedly burned down a and I got 7 sources telling me you did it. Like, dog, you're facing allegations for defamation here. You can't just say somebody else must be beating up their girlfriends and not follow up on it. Like, I don't get the reason why this guy won't retract his previous statement. He literally admitted to accusing an innocent man of a serious crime. Any sane man would at least say, I'm sorry, even if he doesn't really mean it. This guy takes every misstep along the way. That he destroys his credibility that he built up for himself with the first video with his own hands. It's actually really funny. Like, I'm really glad this guy's at the center of everything because it's really weird. From the aimless catapulting of like 75 accusations amidst which like 3 of them stick, to literally saying 2 different things at the same time, to how he handles situations after a complete blunder. Like, doesn't this guy have friends that care for him telling him, bro, maybe you shouldn't do that? Maybe you should check your evidence before alleging someone of a crime? Maybe you should apologize after you got the wrong guy? Maybe you shouldn't say 2 different things at the same time? Like, doesn't this guy have friends around him telling him that? Or is it that he kicks away everybody around him because he destroys and obliterates every possible human relationship he comes into contact with? The only people around him left are people that are equally weird, if not more, like Jake Weddle. Like, dog, you publicly denounced someone on your same side that you recommended in your video multiple times the moment things got bad for you. I don't think you have anybody left around you to tell you these things. I don't think it was being raised with access to an iPad that caused her bad mental health. I think it was her personality. And I think it's too late to change that because you set out on a quest to destroy even the person who lent you a hand when you were pursuing your dream job. Like, you don't even distinguish between friends and enemies at this point. You just want to see everything around you burn. I don't know if it was the depression and the anxiety or the shrooms that you lied about or your bad mental health that caused you to become this way, and the best people can do right now is avoid you. And usually I have sympathy for people like you, because who doesn't go through depression and who doesn't go through bad mental health in this modern day and age where everything is so completely it's not even funny. But there are people who try to cope and people who destroy everything around them because of that. And the fact that you're willing to do this is exactly the reason why I have no sympathy for you, actually. Mr. Beast is not responding because the best thing to do with people like you is not deal with you at all. Because the moment he responds, no matter what he says, even if he says 1 + 1 = 2, you'll say something along the lines of, mathematically prove it, or you're deflecting, what about 2 + 2, or is it morally right for you to say that? And it's a never-ending rabbit hole. And all of us who actually researched into it and not blindly received everything that you said at face value already knew that like 90% of what you were saying were based on like absolutely no evidence. The closest thing to evidence that you brought up each time was a direct message from an anonymous source, and look where that got you. Like, you only had to wait a week before the actual evidence arrived, but you were so giddy with excitement like, I'm gonna cancel Mr. Beast's family, and just posted a completely wrong information, and a lot of your credibility was just obliterated. The worst thing is people are starting to catch up, and before it was only a few of us saying where's the evidence, and except for the morons who think proof and evidence isn't necessary to convict someone of a crime, people actually started to look at what you said and found out you were saying stuff like Mr. Beast is the Antichrist and everything you held up in your hands were DMs. Stop giving us DMs as evidence, bro. Look where that got you the last time. Like, since my brain is fermented with loot boxes and gotchas, I really don't care if Mr. Beast included random chance giveaways, but I can get some people saying he deserves to get called out for it. I can understand stuff like that, but I really can't agree when this guy says to subscribe for a cookie banner is an evil, psychologically manipulative tactic, or that Jake Weddle is not really freaking weird. This guy constantly complains about taxes and just cries all the time, and to be honest, he's really cringe and not funny. I don't know why he became a stand-up comedian. He talks like he's in a TV show all the time, and it's really awkward to watch. Like, if you ever went to a bar with this guy, he would talk for 3 hours by himself, and the rest of us would be just like politely smiling and nodding, and he would be thinking he carried the conversation due to his highbrow humor, and the rest of us would be like, let's not invite him next time. You're slowly turning yourself into a clown, and quite frankly, I don't think you're gonna be able to get a decent job after this. All that the employers have to do is search your name online, and your face will pop up and it will say you try to completely destroy and cancel your previous company. Plus, you're getting sued by a gajillionaire, in which you certainly committed serious defamation on at least one occasion, so I think whatever money you got right now is going to be completely eviscerated. Bro, your karma's starting to catch up.